Hey everyone, it's Graham here. Today we're diving into the top 5 mistakes you should avoid with your money in 2025. Let's make sure you're on the right track to financial success. We're talking about the big things here, the things that can really derail your financial goals if you're not careful. Trust me, I've seen it all, and I'm here to help you avoid the pitfalls that can really set you back. So, grab a notebook, get ready to take some notes, and let's make sure your finances are primed for success in 2025 and beyond. Alright, let's kick things off with a mistake that I see people making all the time. Carrying high-interest debt. We're talking credit cards, payday loans, the whole 9 yards. This stuff is brutal, and it can absolutely snowball out of control if you're not careful. Think about it. You're paying 20%, 25%, sometimes even 30% interest on these balances. That's insane. That's money that's literally vanishing into thin air, money that could be working for you instead of against you. Look, I get it. Life happens. Unexpected expenses pop up, and sometimes it feels like credit cards are the only way to stay afloat. But trust me, the longer you let that high-interest debt linger, the harder it's going to be to dig yourself out of that hole. So, what's the solution? We gotta attack that debt head-on. Create a budget, cut back on unnecessary spending, and throw every single spare dollar you can at those high-interest balances. I'm talking about getting aggressive here. Sell stuff you don't need, pick up a side hustle, do whatever it takes to generate some extra cash flow and start chipping away at that debt. Remember, every payment you make towards that high-interest debt is a victory. It's a step closer to financial freedom, to taking control of your money and your future. And once you've tackled those high-interest balances, keep those cards out of sight. And for goodness sake, don't even think about closing them. Closing credit cards can actually hurt your credit score, which can come back to bite you later on. Just put those cards away, out of sight, out of mind, and focus on building a solid financial foundation where you don't need to rely on them anymore. Alright, let's talk about another crucial element of a solid financial plan, the emergency fund. This is your safety net, your financial cushion, your peace of mind fund. It's there to protect you from life's unexpected curveballs, and trust me, those curveballs are gonna come. Think about it, your car breaks down, you lose your job, your water heater decides to flood your basement. These things happen, and they can get really expensive really fast. Without an emergency fund, you might be forced to rely on credit cards or even worse, high-interest loans to cover those costs, which, as we just discussed, is a recipe for disaster. Now, I'm not talking about having a few $100 stashed away. I'm talking about having 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses saved up in a readily accessible account. That means if you lose your job or face a major unexpected expense, you've got a buffer, a safety net to help you weather the storm without derailing your entire financial plan. Now I know what you're thinking, Graham, that sounds like a lot of money, and yeah, it might seem like a daunting goal, especially when you're first starting out. But let me tell you, building that emergency fund is one of the best things you can do for your financial well-being. Start small if you have to. Even setting aside $50 or $100 a month is better than nothing. The key is to make it a habit, to automate those savings so you don't even have to think about it. Trust me, having that emergency fund in place will give you an incredible sense of security, knowing that you're prepared for whatever life throws your way. Chapter 3. Don't get burned. The dangers of speculative investments. Let's be real, who doesn't love a good get-rich-quick story? We see it all the time, people striking it rich with the latest meme stock or cryptocurrency, and it's tempting to think, hey, maybe I can do that too. But here's the cold, hard truth. Speculative investments are exactly that, speculative. They're like rolling the dice at a casino. You might get lucky, but the odds are stacked against you. Look, I'm not saying you can't make money in these markets. People do it every day. But for every success story, there are countless others who lost their shirts chasing the next big thing. The problem with speculative investments is that they're often driven by hype, by emotion, by FOMO, the fear of missing out. And when you let those emotions dictate your investment decisions, you're setting yourself up for disaster. Remember, investing isn't about getting rich quick, it's about building long-term wealth, about making smart, calculated decisions that will pay off over time. So, instead of chasing the latest trends, focus on building a diversified portfolio of low-cost index funds and ETFs. These investments track the broader market, which means you're not putting all your eggs in one basket. Sure, it might not be as exciting as gambling on meme stocks, but trust me, it's a far more reliable way to grow your wealth over the long haul. Remember, slow and steady wins the race. Don't get caught up in the hype. Stick to a solid investment strategy and let time and compound interest work their magic. Chapter 4. Time is money. Why you need to start saving for retirement now. Retirement might seem like a lifetime away, especially when you're young and just starting out. But let me tell you, the earlier you start saving for retirement, the better off you'll be. Time is your greatest asset when it comes to investing, thanks to the power of compound interest. Compound interest is like magic. It's essentially earning interest on your interest, and over time, those gains can snowball into a significant nest egg. Here's the thing. The longer you wait to start saving, the less time your money has to compound, and the more you'll have to contribute later on to catch up. Think about it this way. Let's say you start investing $5,000 a year at age 25. Assuming an average annual return of 7%, you'd have over $1 million by the time you reach 65. Now, let's say you wait until you're 35 to start saving the same amount. You'd end up with significantly less, even though you're contributing the same amount of money each year. That's the power of compound interest. It's your best friend when it comes to building wealth, but it only works if you give it time to do its thing. So, what are you waiting for? Open a retirement account, start contributing as much as you can, and take advantage of any employer matching programs offered by your company. It's essentially free money, so don't leave it on the table. Chapter 5. Lifestyle Inflation, the Silent Wealth Killer. You land your dream job, get that big promotion, finally start seeing your income grow. It's an exciting time and it's easy to want to reward yourself, to upgrade your lifestyle to match your newfound success. But here's the thing. Lifestyle inflation is a silent wealth killer. It's the insidious tendency to increase our spending as our income rises, and it can sabotage even the most well-intentioned financial plans. Think about it. You get a raise, so you decide to upgrade your apartment, buy a nicer car, start eating out more often. Before you know it, you're back to living paycheck to paycheck, even though you're making more money than ever before. The problem is, lifestyle inflation often happens gradually, almost imperceptibly. You tell yourself you deserve these things, that you've earned them. And while it's certainly important to enjoy the fruits of your labor, it's crucial to find a balance, to make sure you're not sacrificing your long-term financial goals for short-term gratification. So, how do you combat lifestyle inflation? It's all about being intentional with your spending, about making conscious choices about where your money is going. Instead of automatically increasing your spending every time you get a raise, consider setting aside a portion of that extra income for your financial goals, whether it's investing, paying off debt, or boosting your emergency fund. Remember, building wealth isn't about how much money you make, it's about how much you keep. By being mindful of your spending habits and resisting the urge to constantly upgrade your lifestyle, you'll be amazed at how much faster you can reach your financial goals. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more tips on how to manage your money wisely. See you next time. Remember, building a solid financial future takes time, effort, and discipline. But by avoiding these common money mistakes and making smart choices with your money, you'll be well on your way to achieving your financial goals. Now go out there and crush it.